What's going on, guys? This live stream is brought to you by Hustlers Kung Fu University, where your real financial education begins. Right now, get any course. I suggest the money management, the basics of financial and wealth development at 50% off using the promo code MONEY. Let's get into it. It's almost 2020. Happy Veterans Day to all my vets out there. I was in the Army for 6 years. I'm a veteran. And live it up, enjoy it. And also pay consideration to all the vets who came before us. The vets who made it possible for us to have these freedoms. The vets who made it possible for the United States of America, where anyone and any day can start a business with less hassle, less rigmarole than anywhere else in the world. You can't do what you can do here anywhere else in the world. And that is a big deal predicated on the sacrifices that many veterans made. So tip your hat, pour out one for those who are not here, and let's get into this knowledge drop. All right. One of the things that you got to understand is almost 2020, and the game has changed. A few years ago, I was talking about, if you need to start a business, you had to do some stuff. All that has changed. You got people who are literally becoming millionaires in 2 and 3 years. Happened to me. Information. Finding the right financial vehicle is super important. And for a lot of you guys, you've got to clean up your current house before you can start a business. And this is hands down the number one issue that so many of my peeps who watch this channel have. You're not in a position to start a business because you have so much debt. You got a car payment, you got child support, you got rent, and at the end of the month, you got $200, $300, $400, $500 left over. You're tired. It's a situation where you got to clean that up first before you get into the business development realm. And this is one of the hardest things to do because it's going to add some extra time. It's like you're going to college and you didn't go to the best high school, so you have to take all of these remedial classes before you can actually start your freshman year. That's where a lot of you guys are. So let me tell you how to clean up the house. And this is something that could take you 90 days, 6 months if you really work on it. First of all, you got to have written goals. That's number one. You got to have written goals. Number two, if you have bad credit, you need to start working on that. That's going to factor into you getting business credit, you getting funding, you doing deals. So you need to work on that. And if you're in debt, you need to work on that because these are like anchors that will keep your financial ship from floating as far as it can because you've got all of these things. It's like you make a mistake early in life and it just haunts you forever. All these guys who went to prison, got records, that is a killer. Also, for my convicts, for my felons, for my folks with some records, that won't prevent you from starting a business. You can start the kind of business that will not hire you, be the man, get paid with a record. When you go for a bank loan, I don't think they ask if you have a record. I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've got a traditional bank loan. I don't know if that's part of the process. But you got to do some housekeeping. You got to go ahead, like I said, get the basic financial wealth development course. Go ahead and start to get to prep yourself for more money. Because this is the thing. If you start an internet business, You can make $1 million with your first internet business if you have the right information, if you're surrounded by the right people, if you're doing the right things. You could do that. Let's see. So, one of the things you need to do is get that credit straight, get your budget straight, because this is the balancing act. Life is already hard. So then you're going to go out here and start this business, and you already have these burdens and challenges. They're already there. So that's going to be a big issue for you starting your business because the information has changed. I'm going to recommend that there's two type of businesses I'm going to recommend that you start. A service business, which can be painting, car wash. You know, there was someone that's like, man, you in love with these service businesses. Dude, for the broke dick dandies of the world, that's the fastest way for you to come up financially. That's the fastest way for you to make some money without a lot of money. You know, a lot of you guys want to go into these big boy businesses without big boy expertise or big boy money. You think you can start an internet business with no experience. The game is too competitive. You know, you start an internet business with no experience, no money, that ain't gonna work. It's not working. This ain't 2009, baby. It ain't 2010. Those days are over. You can still start a profitable, successful internet business. However, you got to be on it. You got to come in with the right knowledge base. You got to come in knowing about email marketing. You need to come in and know about Facebook marketing. You need to come in knowing about YouTube marketing. These are the things that you will need to do. These are the things that you will need to have in your wheelhouse. Because if you don't, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be very, very hard. All right. So we talked about some of the stuff you need to do. So you should be looking at, like, these are hustles. I consider these hustles. I consider eBay a hustle. I consider Amazon FBA a hustle. You can use those and get you some more money because one of the first things you got to do is buy back your time. This is critical to your success. This is beyond critical to your success because here's the problem with having a job. And I've had people argue with me talking about you know, the things they want to do. But a job is going to keep you from being free to expand and work on your business because one of the biggest issues you guys have is there's no time to ponder or think about anything. You know, this is a big issue. All right, so you got to have your goals. Then you've got to execute on a daily basis. This is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done because if you're broke dick Danny, you got a job, you know, you got bills, you got a car note. To get this process started, to get the momentum going, it's going to be such a big push because you comfortable. You comfortable with all your bills. You're comfortable in your 1-2 bedroom apartment and having some fun on the weekends, going to the movies with Big Booty Betty on the weekends. You comfortable. You're frustrated, but you're comfortable. You're going to have to become really, really uncomfortable to move to the next level. I mean, this is one of the things that a lot of people are not really paying attention to. This is one of the things that a lot of people, because the foundational stuff, the construction standpoint, the cleaning up of your finances, because let me tell you what's going to happen. You start a business and your financial life is janky. This is what's going to happen. That money's going to be absorbed into your life. You might get a nicer car. You might get a nicer place to live. But you're still on that hamster wheel. You're still on that hamster wheel of, at the end of the month, there's just barely enough money to make it because you've upgraded your lifestyle with this new money. And it's going to happen seamlessly. It's just going to sneak up on you. You're just going like, bam, I'm here. Instead of having a $250 car note, you now got a $550 car note for 72 months because the bank and your FICO say, yeah, man, you can do that. Even though your overall finances say, no, you can't. And this is one of the things. So going back to the beginning, you got to clean up your financial house. Number one, work on your credit. Work on your credit. And also get yourself a budget. I know this is very hard. What's up, people? What's up, Jeremy? What's up to the vets? What's up, Mario? Rhonda? It's Nicholas Penn, thanks for the $5 super chat. Ready, Set, Wealth, a service business can make you money today. And that's why I'm a big fan of service businesses for those who have never started a business before. When I was doing 30 days to 2,500, there was a dude by the name of Cleaver. Cleaver was on, because this is the way I did it. I was like, if you show up, you get the education. If you miss it, you'll have to buy it. So I was doing it live on YouTube, and Cleaver came in there and it's like, what about me? I have no money. I don't have a car. I'm sleeping on a friend's sofa. I said, start a service business. So Cleaver got on his bicycle, went into town, pitched a beauty salon, and came out with 500 or 700 bucks. I forget it. And he went from that business to another business to another business to another business. And within like 2 or 3 months, Cleaver had a $12,000 a month. This is the power of a service business. If you can come up with a way to serve your community, there's so much money into it for you with little to no startup cost. Because once again, now this is where many of you are. You're in the situation where you don't have a lot of extra money. So you don't have thousands of dollars, for signage and business cards and office space. You don't have that money. Well, your Uncle G, your hustling godfather, is here to tell you, you don't need all that. I got into the storage auction business. Now, fortunately, I had a grip in the bank when I got into the business, but I did not go out spending recklessly. The first 2 months, literally, the storage auction pros handed me my ass because they were like, I got a bunch of garbage the first 2 months because they were running me up and playing games. But, a service business enables you to start a low-cost business that you can scale up to $1 million business if you so desire. Terrence, I have a mortgage, car note, and student loan debt. I'm currently working to pay down these things. How long will it take for me to see a noticeable increase in my credit? Depends on what you got on there, man. Ready, Set, Wealth. I was broke and homeless for 3 months. I ran Craigslist ad for moving helper, made $6K in a month for just being a helper. Never been broke again since 2016. Still have the company, even hired my daughter. Service business. That is the power of a service business. I'm going to read this again. I was in broke and homeless for 3 months. I ran a Craigslist ad for moving helper, made $6K in a month just being a helper, never been broke again since 2016. Still have the company, even hired my daughter. Andrew Johnson, I'm working on starting a holding company, which was a brilliant idea, by the way. I need help. You could go ahead to, let me go ahead and get you to, let's go here. All right. You can go and get the art of holding. All right. You can get the art of holding to help you with that. You can use the promo code money to get 50% off. So that's where you can go. Once again, just to be clear, I don't get on the phone and just talk to people. I just simply don't have the time. That's just, and seriously, that's a very inefficient way to run your business. Just getting on the phone talking to people. There's a lot of people who's like, hey, how can I reach you so they can ask me a question? If you want to ask certain questions, this is your opportunity during this live stream to ask your question. There's a lot of folks who like, I don't want to put my business out there, man, but want to take up my time. It ain't happening. So that's how you can get some help with that. Highly favored. You have to market every day. Never get complacent. Save, especially when the big money's coming in. Absolutely. All right, Paul Brown. Any suggestions for business ideas for writers? Go to Upwork. Go to one of these Fiverr. If you can write, you just Craigslist, advertise that you write certain things that people need. Because I would say Fiverr, Upwork, these places where you can be a freelancer. And that right there can be a really interesting business because everybody needs writers. Everybody needs copy. If you can become a copywriter, there's a lot of money out there for you. A lot of money. Rhonda Vincent, same service businesses for men. You can paint, right? You can be a mover's helper, right? You can clean car washes. Hey, same kind of businesses. I was out the other day and there was this big vacuum type thing, this big tank with a hose attached to it, and it had a boom on it and the hose was going to the ground, and there was a woman on that construction crew. If you want to make the good money, forget looking for businesses for women. Daycare, nursing aides, that stuff don't pay no money. So go ahead and move it up. Change your thinking. Change your thinking and get in the game. The real James, should I get a rental property now or wait until the recession? You should be in the real estate market now. Even though I have, because I'm in the real estate market, but I haven't pulled the trigger on anything because, this, for me, the Atlanta market is just too hot, but I'm in the game. So you got to be in the game because you jump into the game during the recession, that could be a little bit too late. So you want to get in the game now so you know what your marketplace is. Like, give you an example. During the Great Recession, the Houston real estate market didn't dip at all. So it depends on where you are, what you're doing. You want to be in the game. So you got to do some more research on that. Highly favored. For your tech people, there's an annual Afrotunk conference. They just had one this weekend in Oakland. Eric Williams, you could be a woman making the calls, marketing, and hiring the guys. Trust me, I've done it before. There you go. Erica Williams. Brolistic, will investing in REITs be counted as being in the real estate game? Not really, in my opinion. BK from the Rockies, James Rash from the past. I've ran across several contract writing gigs through Craigslist for technical writers or editors. Look there. Philip Hussle, I'm glad you said daycare. So many think daycare makes a lot of money, but all the money is going to pay staff, food, and rent. Not high margin. Not at all. Ready, set, wealth. The big money guys are already positioned for the market crash. Pretty much. Because, see, you got to be in the market. Because by the time you level up or you get your knowledge base up, you behind the curve. So you currently have to be in the market. And all real estate is local. You know, what's happening in California may not impact what's happening in Las Vegas. What's happening in Las Vegas may not impact what's happening in New York. Based on my real research, this recession is going to take a little bit of sting off the real estate market, but not much. Foreclosure rates at an all-time low. But car repossessions, credit card delinquencies are at record highs. But people are paying their rent and paying their mortgages, which, you know, makes sense. It's like, you know, the last recession, a lot of people went homeless. They ain't trying to do that again. They ain't trying to go that way again. So, you know, once again, you guys, you know, you got to prep for 2020. And it may take you all 2020 because when I started this business, I was debt free. No car payment, no credit card debt. I had no debt. You know, I had a mortgage, but I had a house hacked that because I wasn't even living in the house. I rented out the house and I had moved into my partner's house because she had cancer and I had to help her. So I really had no bills. And it makes it so different when you start a business with no bills because you're not looking for that business to support you. This is one of the things I have many people say to me. I need England and I need a business ideal that's going to make me $3,000 to $6,000 a month because I got bills. That's the wrong way to get into a business. And that's going to cause you a lot of heartache and drama. Tammy Adams, there are specialized areas that are extremely profitable. I'm in the litigation finance business, love it, high commissions, which will allow me to eventually invest in real estate. Delmont, I have a friend who owns 5 daycares and she made $1 million last year. All right, she has a syndicate of daycare. She doesn't have a daycare. She's not doing the work. She's a true business owner. That's a whole different thing. Determined soul. Would you suggest if you have a service business, try to promote yourself, but you keep it on the low due to child support? All right. For once again, for you guys with child support, here's the template. Whatever your child support is, you want a side hustle that makes 3 times what your child support is. You already are in the system. They already got you. It's going to be very hard. The only way you're getting out of this is to get to spend more time with your child. That's the only way you're getting out of this, and that's going to be a challenging path. And once again, I tell all my dudes, you know, if you're in this situation, go for physical joint custody, physical legal custody, where, you know, she keeps the kid 50% of the time, you keep the kid 50% of the time, no child support. That's hard to do after you're already in the child support world. Once they sink their teeth in you, they just don't want to let go. So your goal, like my first situation, when I got divorced, I was on child support, and it was $420 per month, and my goal was to make 3 times. I actually made 10 times that. And once again, due to the fact of LLCs and stuff, she could never get it increased because once I crossed over to self-employment, I was able to manage my child support. She couldn't increase it because I on paper didn't make enough money for her to increase it. So your goal is to become a business, go ahead and get you a side hustle 3 times what your child support is, so you don't feel that, so you can go on with your life. But you got to promote your business. And once again, typically if you're doing something like painting, if you're doing car wash, she ain't gonna know. She ain't gonna know. So that's my advice. 3 times you get, sitting is like, write it down. My name is Jerome Willis. I'm gonna make 3 times what my child support is on my side hustle. I'm gonna keep my job. More money, more money, more money. That's how they handle that. The real James, but once there's no jobs, how are people going to pay on their mortgages? Uh, the recession is, from what I can see, the recession is going to be very different. It's not going to be as rough as last time. So not as many people are going to be impacted. And, once again, currently we have a huge segment of people who are part of the gig economy, driving for Uber, doing DoorDash, doing these kind of jobs. And these people, that's their full-time gig. And they're making it. All right. Robbie Rob, people don't realize, hey man, I do my best, man. I be dropping these jewels. What's up, William? James Strasher, in Pennsylvania, the parent who makes more money still has to pay child support regardless of shared custody, shared physical and legal custody. Yeah, it's like that in California too. That's what I'm saying. And I would look upon that with your attorney. Once again, this is another reason to have money, so you get proper representation. Because I don't know if that's a state law or what, but if you got your kid half the time, that doesn't make any sense to give her any money. But in California, Halle Berry has to pay this dude $18,000 per month because she's a movie star. So it could be one of those things. William Johnson, early childhood education versus daycare, which is the better business model? If you're going to start a daycare, you need to be completely separate. You don't need to be watching kids. If you can start a daycare, hire people, and get yourself 2 or 3, yeah, that's a business. But where you're in there watching the kids, an early education model, once again, you need to be like KinderCare or one of these things where they have multiple locations. That's how they make the money. They don't have one location; they have multiple locations. I mean, both of them, if you're going to run it as a real business owner where you're not doing the work, you're just management, that can be a grip of money. But if you as a single daycare provider and using that as a hustle where you're using your house, your resources, this is a limited income because you limit it by the size of your house and you can only keep so many kids. Erica Williams, that dude is a broke model. He knew there was a come up with Haley. Erica, Haley did it to herself. This is one of the reasons I had a problem with Halle Berry. I remember when the Oprah show was on, and she said after being married 2 times to 2 high value males that, she wanted to have a kid. Whoever I'm happen to be having sex with, I'm just going to have him sign the paper and get pregnant by him. Haley did it backwards. She didn't get pregnant when she was married to a baller who loved her to death. She went out and became a skank and she got screwed. She screwed herself. That was a bad plan from jump. Well, whoever I'm happen to have sex with, just sign the paper and have it. After being married to 2 high-value men. That Erica, she jumped into that trap. She did a swan dive into that trap. She just went boom and landed on that penis. So, Haley, she ain't the brightest, she ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Not at all. Not at all. Looks is tough. Madonna did the same thing. But Madonna actually married that dude. Haley just went ahead and got pregnant by a hookup. All right. Uh, I don't know what you're doing, Larry, but goodbye. You just spam in the comment section. BK from Rock and Williams Johnson had a family with a background in early childhood education, going to the daycare business as vast. She had a hell of a time learning the business side. Learn the business side first. Madonna's ex-husband, Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie is who she had those kids by. All right. Rocco Madonna's son from a second marriage to Guy Ritchie. Madonna's had a whole bunch of dudes up in there, but I knew she has kids by Guy Ritchie. Like I said, Haley Berry just stupid. Haley Berry was just dumb. That whole plan was ill conceived from jump. I'm just gonna get pregnant by whoever I happen to be dating. Psych! It didn't work. Well, that's the first kid. The other kids came from marriage. And Madonna's way smarter than Hallie. Hallie's been married 3 times, couldn't keep it together. That's funny. Halle Berry didn't have a positive role model. Go figure. And I've gotten older. I've realized my relationships were much more fulfilling when I kept the ladies who had a male figure. How many kids does Madonna have? Oh, and Dennis Robin and her broke up because she wouldn't get Dennis wouldn't give her a kid. He actually said that in the interview. I thought that was interesting. Eric Williams, $2. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Look up Madonna's first child. But she actually had a child through marriage. That was very interesting. The girl from the Players Club got tore up on spouse support when she divorced that prince because that was in the kingdom's name. Tammy Adams, having a business system is so important. I had to learn the hard way. Now that my clientele is increasing, I'm so glad to invest in the programs that help me organize my marketing and tracking. All right. Once again, any business, whether, first of all, like emergency transportation, you want to do that. If you go out and buy the van and you do the driving to begin with to get it started, but you want to hire a driver as quick as possible so you sit in the manager's seat because you know it's a job to set up appointments, to make phone calls, to do marketing. So you need to be doing that while you got people in those driver's seats, because this is what kills most of us as African American business owners. We run the business, we are the business, we do the work. Most African American businesses are, they have no employees. Most. So that's one of the things. And this is one of the reasons you got to get used to hiring people. You got to get used to managing people. That's going to be the pivotal point to the success of your business. Tammy Adams, it's a shame these dumb women don't have their mindset right from the start. They would be rich now without those men if they had learned how to invest their money wisely. Pretty much. Ready, set, wealth. The great philosopher Nino Brown said you have to rob to get rich in the Reagan era, but you didn't have he didn't have the iPhone and the internet. Internet's game changer, man. Douglas Jones, that's just crazy. But back to the business things, because once again, you got to get your personal self together, and also, if you're in a bad relationship, you need to get that together. You need to make that relationship good, or snip, snip, cut it off, because starting a business is going to take so much focus, so much energy that you can't be in a bad relationship. I've not let, if I had a chick who was causing static, I would get rid of her. And I've told them, I was like, you ain't coming between me and my business. My business takes care of me. I don't know about you. And I've told someone that. I was like, I don't know if you're going to take care of me. Why I had my heart attack? My business took care of me. I had a close friend. So, once again, you got to get yourself in the proper mindset, in the proper situation. Carlos, what's up, man? Thanks for doing this. What are your thoughts on starting as a single male, a holding company, that have LLCs under it for coding different software solutions? I would have the holding company, and I have all my software solutions under one LLC. I have a daughter majoring in child psychology and want to start a business that involves kids that my daughter may help off to a good start. Want to keep my kids business minded. If you get into tutoring math, and here's the play for starting a business, that you got to move to a middle class or upper class neighborhood. Sadly, the kids who need this tutoring the most, their parents can't afford it. So typically, there is a chess institute not too far from me. There is a there's a place that teaches children how to dance that's not too far from me. These businesses would not make it if they weren't in this neighborhood, because you got parents who's like, yeah, I want little Johnny to learn how to dance, and I'll pay $400 a month for that. Once again, you got to put your business in front of the right audience. Douglas Jones, you're too right. My second fiance was wildly unpredictable, violent, and threw me off my game for years. I used to think, oh man, my ex-wife, and I think it's fortunate that I had a job because she would just do stuff that constantly kept me off even keel. I would come home, had a good day at work. Hey, how you doing? Next thing you know, we're fighting. I don't even know why 90% of the fights we had even occurred. She was just in a bad mood, start a fight, bring up stuff. And getting out of that situation has taught me that I will never have another partner in my life like that. It's just so much wasted time and energy and emotion on nothing. She had a bad day. One of the chicks that I'm dealing with, I have to train her because she'll call me up and she's like, let's go do this. And I was like, before we do X, Y, and Z, you need to set an appointment. It needs to be scheduled. I've got stuff to do. And she was disappointed. And I haven't seen her in like 2 or 3 days. So she may be off the reservation. But once again, you just can't call me and say, hey, let's go do this, because I'm not sitting around not doing anything. Except this weekend. This weekend was a chill weekend. I watched football and I actually napped and I just chilled out because I knew this week was going to be rough because, you know, we're wrapping up fourth quarter, end of the year. A lot of stuff's going on. But once again, you got to let your partner know that, hey, I just can't be going off on this spree. You know, if it's something that's planned and I can smooth my schedule and make arrangements, cool. But last minute, just holler. I don't live that kind of life. And that's just hard for someone who is used to doing whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. Dustin, I don't know why it's pending. Let me see. I don't have that. I don't have that you purchased it, and I don't know why it would be pending. You should have immediate access. Don't have that. You purchased it, man. It's not in there under the purchases. Did you pay with a check? Because if you paid with a check, yeah, it's gonna be pending. LP, so true. You will make another job for yourself if you don't hire ASAP. I resell clothes and build relationships to get the inventory to come me. I have a regular job and one I made for myself now. Awesome. Tammy Adams, you're 100% on toxic relationships. Throw everything off. Your production goes straight to hell. The momentum is not like tons of missed opportunities. Give them the pink slip. Hey, I mean, good Lord. Just thanks for the $2 super chat, Brolistic. I mean, once, you know, part of prepping yourself for a business is making sure that your personal life is stable and calm. And if that means you got to get rid of somebody because, I mean, you know, also, you know, this would be on Disruptive Male, just dealing with these young women. A lot of them have no focus. A lot of them have no ability to follow up. I mean, it's just no wonder they're broke. I mean, just some of the stuff, because I'll talk about it on Disruptive Male channel. I'm not going to bring it here. But it is no wonder that these chicks are broke. They have no follow-up skills. They have no management skills. They can't manage their lives are dumpster fires. Always something going on. Always something. It's crazy. But once again, you know, with the relationship things, your relationship should be healthy. It should promote you, and you should have support. Because, like I said, you know, Essentially, I have a number of women that I associate myself with. So one leaving the reservation is not a big deal because she wanted to, she was just always calling me like, hey, let's go do this. Like last spur of the moment. Like I was like, I keep telling you, my life ain't like yours. I don't have all this free time just to go out and do whatever. So, so from the top, get your financial life together, get your credit life together, get your debt load together, make sure that your relationship life is together. Because if I have had it, none of this would have happened if I had relationships like I had with my ex-wife. None of this. I remember that we would have a fight and I would be emotionally unstable and upset for weeks. Not the environment that you start a successful and profitable business. My mind was shot. Like, fortunately, I had a job where I just go in and do X, Y, and Z. You just can't you really can't be successful in that environment. Look at these athletes. Like when Jalen Hurts was really crappy, he had a girlfriend problem. I mean, this is the things that because if I was in college and I was an athlete on one of these teams and I had a shot to go in the NFL, if my girlfriend was rowdy, um, it just would not. I couldn't deal with that. My girlfriend would have to be supportive, stable. If she was a firecracker, I mean, there's just too much going on. Because I was just watching the kicker from Alabama got drafted by Green Bay. He's gonna make $2 million over the next 3 years. Kicking, just kicking. I mean, how many times does a kicker come in the game? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? They don't even practice with a regular team. $2 million for kicking the ball. I'm like, baby, you can't mess this up. You can't mess. No, 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 no. What's up, Royston? Erica Williams, thanks for $15 super chat. Folks are dumpster fires because they're bored and undisciplined. Meeting men who work but no social life, just buying cars, motorcycles, and stuff, but no long term anything. Too old to mold a grown up. Hey, it is what it is. All right, Dustin. Appreciate it. People do not want to do things alone. That's why you see these football stories and the musician story. Men love those firecrackers. Well, part of the problem is crazy chicks often have great sex. That's the, this is one of the reasons I put the dominant man course. Because, see, you could teach your chick to be that wild in bed. Just go out and get you a good, stable girl and turn her into a freak. But to get one of these ready-made freaks of firecrackers, like the one, her sex is amazing. But I refuse to allow her to run my life. And that's problematic because she's used to men just because, she's a beautiful girl. And she's just used to men hopping when she snaps her fingers. And I don't hop and I don't say yes, ma'am. And I don't nod and I don't shuffle. So, she may be gone. She may be gone. But that's a very important part, for your business life. Your personal life has to be stable and calm. And this is why many business people don't have a girlfriend or a wife or a husband until they get to a certain level where they can promote more time to that relationship. But, if I was in college and I was one of these division schools, I would be very choosy with my girlfriend because essentially these guys are 2 or 3 years from instant millionaires. Now Ray J got into e-commerce, which was a killer move for him because he had name brand recognition, he had some money, and Ray J is the dude that set off the Kardashian empire. That videotape is what set Kim up. Thanks to Ray J. Ray J should be getting residuals. I see that Ray J's advertising on YouTube now, and this is one of the things. Once you go see this is the reason I'm telling you in this stream that you guys have got to balance out your personal life, get your money together, get you some money saved up, because one of the things you're going to have to do is advertise, and you're going to have to market. You can go to Hustler's Kung Fu, get the Craigslist marketing kit. That still works for Craigslist. And you got to market every day. Every day. Like, one of the reasons I market every day, even when I don't do videos, because I have a few thousand videos. So like this weekend, some people found some older videos and bought some products. So you got to create a marketing machine. That's one tip I can give you right now. I don't care what type of business you start. You've got to have a marketing machine going to let people know what you do for them, what your services are, how much you charge. I think Kanye's no, Kanye don't have nothing on Byron Allen. What are you talking about? Kanye don't have nothing on Byron Allen. Philip Hudson, when paying your kid from a business, does every payment need a paper trail? If you want to take that deduction off your taxes, yeah. Anthony Bolden, these dudes got to understand that their woman wants to be a freak for them, so don't treat them like a painting in an art gallery. Oh, my Lord. Tech and tech investing is where it's at. Ray J realized rapping and music's not where the big money is. Absolutely. That's one of the things, because I love to see someone like a Ray J make that move, because Ray J, uh, God, who else? Nipsey Hussle, uh, Nas. Nas has a lot of tech investments, and Nas was saying that was making him more money than music. So they're taking their brand name recognition, getting into this tech. And there was another dude who's making crazy money in tech. So, Royston Gill's correct. My ex was insecure as hell and made my life miserable. Hey, man, it's hard to move forward with a business with a bad relationship. Give Kanye another decade. E40. Andrea, do I set aside 6 months of employment wages in order to put the employee budget to start hiring people? Chamillionaire, that's another one. Dre, Beats, became a billionaire. Ashton Kutcher. Once again, what is Dre? What did Ray J? What did they all do? They created a product to sell to people. They created a product to sell to people. Wealth isn't what you have. Wealth is what you make and distribute. And this is why I keep telling people, like, forget Bitcoin. You want to get into creating a service or product to sell to somebody. That's how you get rich in America. The template is old as time is itself. Chamillionaire, that was one of the people I was thinking about. Shamir Rapper's blown up with tech investments from Houston. Jameer Thrasher, Kenya says he's a billionaire just off the success of his Yeezy shoes. Once again, you know, what are Yeezys? They're a product. When Prince got out of his record contract and went to from Prince to customer model with iTunes, he said he made more money the first year that he put that into play than he did his whole career. Ray J, direct to consumer. Yeezys are, I think, are Adidas products, so that's a partnership. But those are some ugly shoes, but I see a lot of kids love them. They're wearing them all over the place. Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie actually started with tech. Ryan Leslie's the first rapper artist that brought a lot of these, made these people realize, because Ryan Leslie was making more money than they were off less album sales because he used tech. The rapper to millionaire is making a ton of mess in tech. Remember in the NBA Finals, he was sitting on the front row and the media was so surprised. Yep, Ryan Leslie started all. 50 Cent owns Bitcoin. Maybe he live up to his name soon. Like, you know, like everyone keeps talking about these tax cuts. If you run your business correctly, did Apple need these tax cuts? Nope. Did Google need these tax cuts? Nope. Did Donald Trump need these tax cuts? Nope. There's a way around all that, even without the tax cuts. Goodfellow Nilla, my $300 Yeezys. There was a $300. I did not know. But once again, you know, we're having this conversation. We're talking about these artists who realize, like Ray J, you know, for the love of Ray J had one of the first and most successful reality shows. For the love of Ray J. He was getting $300,000 per episode, and they were shooting like 20 a year. So Ray J has taken his, because this is why Donald Trump's president. Everybody knew who Trump was. These folks who are running that no one knows who they are, that's so hard to gain traction. Raycon earbuds are all over the TV screen. And once again, these rappers are going out and creating products. E-commerce, you know, e-commerce only represents like 12% of the economy. You know how much e-commerce has got to go? You know, this is why, you know, if you're starting a business and you want to start an e-commerce business, because you're going to need some money to start an e-commerce business. Let's be really, really clear. You're going to need some money to start an e-commerce business. You know, the days of just starting something without no money, that's very hard, because look at Miley Jenner. In her lip lock kit, she created a product. She used the Kardashian name, she used the Kardashian brand to create a product, which she sold to millions of people. Ryan Leslie put Nas and Mos Def on membership websites and helped Mos Def get money to fight instantly. You know, Mos Def is someone else alike. Mos Def has gotten to acting. He was in The Italian Job. He was in other movies. And he was the smart guy. I guarantee you that didn't just happen where he became the scientist. Luke Campbell said he was making more money than all the big name groups he was on the tour with just off t-shirts sales alone. You know, I got a video here, Become a Producer. And like back when Luke got started, these artists were getting ripped off. They were making no money. So I could see how Luke was making more money off t-shirt sales. I can absolutely see that because they were making no money. This is what many artists are beginning to understand. That if they go from an artist to consumer model, they make way more money. A lot of these new artists, they've been approached by 5, 6, 7 record companies, and they're like, nope, ain't doing it. Because if you get an artist who can, like these YouTube guys, a lot of these artists start on YouTube, they set up concert dates, and like Maddie B raps. Let's go there. Because this is the power of tech. All right. So this is what a lot of these kids are doing. Um, Matthew David Morgus, Matty B raps. So he started on YouTube. He's still a kid. I don't even think he's 18. I think he's 8. He might be 18 or something like that. And here's one that just kicked off. It's got 21 million views. He's got 12.7 million subscribers. So what Matty B is doing is booking out concert halls and selling tickets like he's currently not touring. But when he was touring, he was charging $80 to $150 per ticket. And these were 20,000 seat venues. Let's see. Let's go with if he got in the venue, he's just sold $80 tickets and he only filled up half the place. So that's 10,000. That's $800,000 in one night. So when these guys go on tours, they make millions and millions of dollars. So if you're an artist, the thing you want to do is start yourself a YouTube channel, get on Spotify, get on all of these apps and build up your fan base so you can go ahead and sell tickets and promote yourself, because essentially Matty B is a self-contained business. He's a self-contained $1 million business. No record label. Built his fan base organically. Master P got Rap Snacks, Jonathan Phillips. I saw that and I was like, Rap Snacks. And it was the wildest thing. Cash Roy. Luke said the groups were treating him funny when he had his own group money and they didn't. Matthew David is 16. Like, I knew he was young because he started off when he was like 7 or 8. 7 or 8. Yeah, Ryan's toy reviews, his parents about him. God does know. Why is every successful black person in the boule of Illuminati? Stop. Yeah, Erica. I mean, like, I've seen a lot of artists. There was this one girl, like the girl who did Friday, Rebecca Black. She actually has taken voice lessons. She can really sing now. And she books shows. And I mean, you got to think, one tour, you can make $3 or $4 million, and you 16 years old. I mean, you know, Matty B, he's made millions of dollars. He's set for life already. Quicksilver, I started a subcontracting business by using home advisor leads. If you meet the right contractors, you can expand exponentially. Absolutely. William Johnson, yeah, I was listening because it was KRS-One and something else that they had this boxing match. And once again, if you're a YouTuber with 12 or 22 million subscribers, that is a massive audience. And a lot of these guys are monetizing them. Hey man, I'm an entrepreneur, Tammy. We do what we do here. So one of the things that you got to understand is, you know, we're having this conversation about these rappers like Ray J. Like, let's do Ray J. I have a feeling. I think Ray J's net worth is higher than that. I think they're way off on him. I didn't know Ray J was 37. They're way off on him because they're not. I don't think they're taking into account his company. Millionaire, they got him at 25 million. A lot of that came from investing. Oh, check this out. How did Nipsey Hussle make his money? He took the price tag up selling mailbox money for 1,000 a pop. But the rapper never wanted to around music for his money. Doing music to pay bills is an uncomfortable situation, he recently told Complex. These artists are waking up. I think what happened is they're seeing the kind of money that these YouTubers are making because YouTubers and Instagram people were making more money than these artists. And I think a lot of them, because they were like, I ain't gonna do Instagram, I'm not gonna do YouTube. And then they started to see the money these guys were making, independent of record labels, that brought them to the fold. Because you know, The Rock has a YouTube channel, Will Smith has a YouTube channel, I think Kevin Hart has a YouTube channel. They've come around. They're leveraging their brands and they're going further and making even more money. So once again, these the rules have changed. The rules have changed drastically. Roderick Tech Nine. Tech Nine has been independent since day one. Good fellow now, Uncle Rick. Most artists that are now on the radio do live shows to sell merch or cleaning up. Absolutely. Boss Life, absolutely. Casheroni. Soldier Boy, I believe that Soldier Boy was underrated because I think a lot of folks did learn game from Soldier Boy, and they don't want to give the dude credit. Look up Nick Cannon. I think Nick Cannon is like 50 million because Nick Cannon he got part of that because essentially here's how the Kim Kardashian thing worked. Ryan Seacrest, yep, because Nick's got money in these shows, and he's part of the Ryan Seacrest family. Kim Kardashian is represented and managed by Ryan Seacrest, who was schooled by Dick Clark. Now, why is that important? Dick Clark was the first person to own this show, American Bandstand. Dick Clark owned that show, which means he got to sell the advertising and make the money from the advertising, which, you know, is what Byron Allen is doing. Because if you can run a show and sell advertising and don't pay the network that much, woo, you can make a grip. You can make a grip. So that's where he is. I know, Jamar. They hated Damian Dash. Tammy Adams, I have a YouTube artist making over $1 million a year. I know some of them are making 10 million. Jeffree Star has his own makeup line. That we getting into the Miley, we're getting into the Jenner kind of money. He has his own makeup line. He has his own audience. It's sick. They're making more than $1 million. Nas signed a $340 million deal with Viacom for Pluto TV. Oh yeah, the game is totally different because once again, if you can get attention, because this is what I'm saying, whatever business you start, you need to have a marketing arm. Jeremy Binion, thanks for the $5 super chat. Never heard of the Bean app. Don't know what it is. Russ is profitable. Kevin Hart owns all his content. This is a lesson I learned from Curtis Mayfield. He was a patient at Northside Hospital, and I was part of the team taking care of him. And he said, always own your own content. Like, how many people know The Walking Dead was a pulp fiction novel? It was a graphic novel. So whoever owned that novel, when they sold the rights to the production company, they made a grip. Tiger Sharks. Hey, just had a third-party store media outlet change the rules on me. Amen. Anthony Bowden, I would not be surprised at that. YouTube is very powerful. Kanye is almost a billionaire. Is that why he got religious? Oprah Winfrey, of course. Ryan Seacrest, because Dick Clark taught Ryan Seacrest everything you know. Because you got to understand, American Bandstand was on when I was a kid, and I used to watch it every Saturday, and I didn't realize what was happening. Dick Clark owned that show, which means he got the rights to sell commercials, and there was like always 6 or 7 commercials, and whatever they were paying him, Dick Clark got to put that money in his pocket. Let's see. Let's look up. Dick Clark was a millionaire before he was 30 and gave him a net worth of $200 million at the time of his death in 2013. Ryan Seacrest will be a billionaire thanks to Dick Clark. 1 year ago today, radio legend Dick Clark passed away at the age of 82. The perpetual youngful Clark dominated television and radio airwaves for nearly 60 years. But Clark was much more than a media talking head. He was a radio DJ, a television producer, restaurant mogul, an entrepreneur, much more. The entrepreneurial spirit made Dick Clark a millionaire before he was 30 and gave him a net worth of $200 million at the time of his death. While $200 million in net worth is certainly impressive, it pales in comparison to what Ryan Seacrest should be able to accomplish in his lifetime if he continues to follow in Clark's footsteps. Let's put it this way. If Ryan Seacrest lives to age 82 and follows 4 simple lessons from Dick Clark's life, he will mostly die a billionaire. I mean, this is the game, man. Because Ryan Seacrest owns Ryan Seacrest's net worth is estimated at $380 million. Thanks to Dick Clark. He learned from the master. I mean, Dick Clark was like, Otis Redding was someone else who owned his own music. These guys got extraordinarily rich in their time frames because they were producers and they controlled from producer to customer. See, when you got the middleman, you lose money. You cut the middleman out, your money goes up. Once the record corps learned how powerful having the name was, they created the infamous 360 deal, so they own everything you do under your name. Goodfellow Nail, Uncle G, I think America will get so expensive to live, only boss owners will live here. Well, that's what's happening in the cities. You're going to have to be a business owner or a highly paid tech employee to live in major metropolitan cities. Because the average rent for a 1-bedroom, not super nice apartment in San Francisco is $37.50 for a 1-bedroom. You're going to be making boss money. Produce just. That's why it's important to have eldership and a mentor. If we can't create successful mentors and elders in our communities, then we can't have the easier path to vehicle for success. I would go with that. You got to have systems. A 1-bedroom in the ATL is $1,300. Good Lord, for a decent area. I did not know that. Because I know I've been looking at the rental markets for houses because you can get $1,500 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Otis Redding's net worth was $10 million in 1967, the time of his death. You know how much money $10 million was in 1967? A house cost you $10K. Cars cost $1,000 to $3,000 brand new. He was rolling. But see, this is why you've got to get out of that job thing and become a producer. Because, you don't have Ray J's name brand recognition, but you can create a product and make some money. You may not be able to make 10 million, but you could probably make 500,000 to $1 million being a nobody. When I came on YouTube with my book, Making Money A to Z with Self-Storage Unit Auctions, nobody knew who I was. I was a nobody. 3rd year, 1.5 million. 3rd year. The power of leveraging YouTube. Because see, back then, my videos, used to get way more views than I had subscribers. Like, I had like 1,200 subscribers. I get like 6,000 views because there was no competition. There was no one else talking about this stuff. So, you know, it is crazy. I'm here in Oakland for the conference. It's 2 bedroom for 3,500, 1 bedroom 2,000 plus. I did not know because once again, because I live in a house, but once again, this is why I don't think that the rental market is going to take a big hit during this next recession. It's just too strong because the fact that people are not, foreclosures, that's usually a sign that the housing market is going to crash. So foreclosures are at a low. Oldest rating was only 26 when he died. That shows you the power of being a producer. 10 million at 26 because he owned his own masters. Oldest Redding's wife still living big in the mansion on his land to this day. The maker of the Super Soaker, Lonnie, he's here in Georgia. This is why, you got to get into the ownership game. You got to get into the business ownership game because this opens up doors. Like Erica just put in there, Otis Redding made his 10 million at 26, 1967. His wife is still living big off of that 1967 money. See, Dick Clark's wife, because once again, when you can make millions of dollars very quickly with a business, this sets the rest of your life up. Dick Clark was a millionaire before he was 30. You know how he was living? The best steaks, the best food, the best house. You can do that by becoming a producer. And the first step is you got to understand the rules have all changed. The game has changed. Rappers are learning that the game has changed. Everybody's learning that the game has changed, and the game is about getting attention. This is why you got Ray J advertising on YouTube. Attention. I think student loans. Ownership is essential to build wealth. Absolutely. The good fella, Uncle G, who's this upcoming recession going to hurt? Part-time workers. Most folks do not want to live in apartments. They want to rent houses. Boss life. I serviced an older couple wash machine this weekend, and it's 300,000 a home. They were renting at the age of almost 70. Good Lord. Really? So, essentially, just to give you guys this information and this knowledge, that the rules have changed, that you could be literally broke today. You could be broke, but you go ahead and get on this financial wealth blueprint. First of all, even if you're making minimum wage, you need to make that money where you have a surplus every month, which means you got to control your spending. You got to control your lifestyle. You got to control your purchases. But you could be that dude today, November 11th, 2019. In 2021, you could be making six figures from being behind the eight ball today if you do the right things. Trump has no bearing on my success. That was a stupid question. Trump has nothing to do with my success. And like these tax cuts, it's a little extra money. But I already have a tax strategy with the way that I run my company, so I didn't even need these things. I think people give Trump way too much credit. Well, we got a lot of people who are still in this dry dick Danny situation. And they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of time. And first of all, the reason I'm doing this live stream is you got to dig out of that before you can move to the next level. Because unless you dig out of it, your kids are going to be living like that. They're going to be living hands to mouth. They're not going to have any money. They're going to be like some of these sugar babies who are wild, undisciplined, unpredictable, and that's going to be their life. Uh, that's just the way it's going to be for them. All right, so I'm getting. Let's see. All right. This live stream was brought to you by Hustlers Kung Fu University, where I suggest you get the money management course, the basics of finance and wealth development. Use the promo code MONEY to get 50% off. If you're looking to tune up your game, get 30 days to 2,500. That is one of the most successful business courses I've ever put out. So with that, I will see you guys in the next